Welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. Today we have...
It's Obena and I am back. It's been a while, but I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, so today we're going to react to episode 7 of the Sandman, and let me just give a brief summary of what occurred in episode 6. So basically Dream
Dream doesn't really know what to do with himself anymore.
Yeah. Dream is lost. Dream is going through a phase whereby he's dissatisfied with a lot that's going on right now. He got his ruby back and the sun and everything else.
Yeah.
So he said, well, he thought he was going to be satisfied and know his next plan, but turns out he's a bit lost. We also met Death.
We did, yes. I think it's mostly because he had spent all those years like in captivity, and he was always planning his revenge and how he was get his stuff back. He would just right all the wrongs that were done to him, and now that he's actually gotten to that point, he just doesn't know what to do with himself anymore. So he needed Death to just come in and tap him on the shoulder and say, bro, get back to work. This isn't for you. You're better than this.
Yeah, so we also met a new character. Dream finally got a friend that he met every 100 years. Yeah, and he finally met him at the ending of the episode. We also saw Desire, I believe their name is. Desire. That Desire, they're planning something against Dream. I don't know why they hate Dream so much. I would love to find that out. So let's just tap into episode 7. Ready?
Yep, let's go.
What happened to shared custody?
So apparently they're going through a divorce. So shared custody. I would expect the mom to take the younger,
Yeah.
and the dad to go the older one.
But I guess the court decided that the mom and the dad were pretty competent, so they decided on shared custody. And depending on where they're moving, it might cause some problems for the children and for her.
Probably.
That's permission.
Yeah. Maybe they're moving out of state and he needs permission for that.
I love you, Jetty. Take me with you.
Poor Jetty.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Get your impact, baby.
Can you imagine being a mom though and leaving your kid behind like that? It must be heartbreaking.
I don't want to imagine it.
Yeah.
Will you talk to me, Queen of Despair?
I'm always ready to listen to your desire.
I have news.
Real news.
Is this one of the endless?
Yeah, this is
What?
Despair.
Oh. Yeah,
You hear what she just said though?
no.
I'm always willing to listen to you, Desire. It's like they go hand in hand. Despair, desire, you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah. They're at the feet of desire for some reason.
The feet of desire. So that means she doesn't like Dream either.
Maybe.
He's still missing. I speak of Dream. He's managed to free himself.
You seek to snare him in your machinations again. Has he not suffered enough these last 100 years?
I don't think so.
She really does look like Despair. Oh my gosh.
Self-important.
Do you think these little games of ours will change?
They're like polar opposites.
This is a new game.
Desire is well dressed. Desire is like the embodiment of things that you would want to be.
Appeal.
Yeah, they're so appealing, you know? And Despair is just, she's hunched over, she's kind of sad, and she's like at the mercy of Desire, you know? Yeah, her thoughts are, it seems as though her thoughts are at the mercy of Desire. Look at how Desire is petting her.
Because, yeah, basically...
Like a pet.
Yeah, like, Despair kind of wants to become Desire, in a sense. You ever see something like that? Like if you're in despair, is because you can't get what you want.
Yeah.
And desire is everything you want to be. So it's kind of interesting, the dynamic here.
This realm is superior to ours. It's time we learn dreams are merely echoes of desire and despair.
Whatever this new scheme is.
They share the realm.
They share it?
Yeah.
It's a, she did mention like
Not
twin. My twin.
Desire
Oh,
said
they
that
mentioned my twin.
this Desire said that Dream still thinks his realm is better than ours. It could mean that they share the same realm or they have different realms and Dream thinks that his is better. I don't know. But that's just what I think.
If that's the reason why they hate Dream, that's kind of weird.
I think the spirit hates Dream or dislikes Dream because Desire does.
But I don't understand why Desire does. It like she just gave a reason. But it's like,
Imagine it like this. We have your dreams, right? Things that I don't even know how to explain what a dream is, to be honest. But it's kind of similar to a desire, something that you might want.
unconsciously.
Yeah, it's like desire, unconscious desire, in a way.
Yeah.
And desire is just something you get in the physical world that you would want or you want for yourself in the physical world. So it's kind of this.
It's very interesting. That's the thing. I guess we'll understand it further down the episode. But yeah, let's just continue watch and see exactly their schemes.
Roderick Burgess was a diversion.
They're two sides of the
Things
same
have
coin.
changed.
That's what I meant to say.
My love. My twin. There is a dream vortex. The first for a long time. And it is a woman.
What is she? Is that a?
What's she doing? We'll have to wait.
The girl has no idea what she is, but she is already doing what vortexes do.
Bringing everything and everyone to her.
Including Morpheus.
Who is she?
Is that
The woman
Rose?
who will be dreams undoing.
Her name is Rose. Rose Walker.
Lida, I found a new photo of Jed.
What?
Well, not new. New to me. Miss Bloom?
2021.
It's Rose Walker. Miranda's
New
daughter?
Jersey.
Car's on its way.
Sorry to bother you, but I was going through my mom's stuff.
Karen, what are you doing here?
I asked Rose if I could have sleep while you guys are gone.
I found a photo of my brother Jed that I've never seen before.
She made shoes with that.
From before the divorce, so it's at least 7 years old, but you can see his face really clearly in it. Can I send it to you?
Alright, clearly something happened in between that time.
The foster agent
That's
wouldn't
7
tell us
years.
where she placed Jed. You said we
Where's
could
her
hire a
mom?
private investigator.
Doesn't seem like she's alive. And the brother can't be found, and I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to the father. So
Well, I assume my mom's estate would cover the cost.
She is gone.
Oh. No, I fully intend to pay your bill. Just the minute I find a job. You're not hiring by any chance, are you?
I want a job and
Okay.
pay back.
Thank you for your time.
Through the salary you give me.
Yeah.
There's no money left?
She said Mom spent it all on the apartment.
She wanted you to have a home.
She wanted Jed to have a home too.
We have to go.
He's residing here.
Okay, let me have a think. There's me. The House of Secrets itself, obviously. The bottling. And something unspeakably nasty in the basement.
Something nasty in the basement.
I can't go down there. And I seem to have inadvertently omitted my friend. It's called Goldie.
In
Goldie.
addition, a baby gargoyle called Goldie.
So does Lord Morpheus know about the...
Vortex.
I can assure you, Lord Morpheus has better things to do than listen to foolish rumors.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing. She's smart.
Maybe a trip to England is exactly what she needs.
She's sleeping. That's progress.
Who's this guy?
She hasn't been sleeping?
No. She's been dealing with her mom's estate, trying to find her brother, doing whatever she has to do to keep from thinking about the fact that she's all alone now.
Wasn't there a guy in the apartment? It's not the same one, right?
No.
No, I know, and friends are great, but
What?
It seems like they just met on the plane, to be honest.
No,
When you
the
lose your
conversation
parents,
seems
you
too
suddenly
personal.
realize.
Well,
It wasn't
the
bad
first
to be
scene they just showed
on the
those
ground all
two.
this time.
Like he was
It was knowing
out
your
there.
son's daughter, her sister.
Mom,
I told you. Well, I didn't know it was a dead husband, but
she's asleep.
Sorry to wake you. Would you mind fastening the seatbelt? Thank you.
I knew there wasn't anyone there.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. It was because of dream.
3 of the major arcana are gone.
Name them.
The first is gold. A nightmare who, I must say, I never trusted.
She is a shape changer. It is not in her nature to be trustworthy. Who else?
The Corinthian.
I assumed as much.
So this is showing us what they look like, the shape.
Serve.
Yes.
The last,
The last is Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's Green. That is passing strange.
What is that supposed to be? Like a
Who's after
landscape?
Wolf Avasor if his own
Like a
dominion
garden
is so
or something.
reliable?
I know.
This is my fault. Had I been here fulfilling my function?
It was not your fault, my lord.
No. Then whose?
I'm afraid there is yet more news. Gossip, really, but
Go on.
there are rumors among the dream folk of a vortex.
But I don't understand, like, what's the big deal with this vortex? I know what Desire was saying, but like I don't understand.
Well, it can't be something good for Dream, that's for sure. But he doesn't seem too worried about it.
Luciane is saying then you must hunt for it. It must be controlled.
The vortex is a she, Lucienne, not an it. And the Endless is forbidden from taking action against any mortal who is not an active threat.
Yes, but should the threat become active?
Then perhaps one of our problems may prove a solution to the other 3.
Catch
She is
that
a vortex after all.
Sucking
Sooner or
water
later she will
tree.
draw the stray dreams too.
That's clever.
Is that not risky, Lord? She could destroy the dreaming and the waking world in the process.
I'm watching her.
Yes, but only when she sleeps. Perhaps one of us should surveil her in the waking world.
I think it best I not leave the dreaming unattended for now.
Send Matthew.
Very well. Lucienne will tell you what to look for, Matthew.
Can you imagine how cool it would be to actually have a crow like
I
that?
too will see.
That you can send to do your bidding.
Yeah, but with a personality like Matthew, it would probably be annoying too.
Wake up. We're here.
Boss! Boss! Get up!
I just had the weirdest dream.
I think much better than I can, Miss Hall.
Do you know what an amulet is?
A what?
An amulet?
It's a kind of ring, I believe, old word. What is such a young girl or across such an old word?
I'm not that young, I'm actually 21. No one ever believes me. And they always ask to see my ID, it's annoying.
Same girl.
But they stop asking. Trust me.
That's also true.
You must be Rose.
I am.
Why does she
And this is my friend, Lyda Hall.
give off such an antsy vibe?
Auntie?
No, like an antsy, like a nervous, like a... I don't trust her just because of this. Is that weird?
Well, she's paying good money to meet her.
I don't trust her. Nah, she might know what she isn't trying to like steal her powers or something.
My name is Unity Kincaid. Thank you, Mr. Holdaway.
Not at all.
He's like, oh my goodness. No, I don't trust the face.
Isn't he? Please, come on.
Thank you. Oh, is this?
Oh, that was mine when I was a girl.
It looks brand new.
It might as well be. I didn't get a chance to play with it.
Why not?
Well, that's why you're here, actually. The doll's house was a gift for my 12th birthday. The doctors tell me that on that night I fell ill with something called encephalitis lethargica.
She was the girl that fell asleep in the first episode.
In episode 1.
Yeah, when Dream got trapped. That's how it affected the real world. She fell asleep and didn't wake up.
She woke up like recently?
Maybe.
Wow.
Thank you, Mouse.
I fell asleep. And I didn't wake
Oh
up.
yeah. Flashback.
Louder. Unity.
Until 8 months ago. But in my dreams, I had the most glorious life. I took over my father's business.
Wait.
In her dreams.
You can like, if you're, question, right? If you're, whatever that is, right? So you're sleeping and you're still growing.
Yeah. Technically.
Technically?
Yeah.
So literally that happens?
Well, I don't think you remain a child. She fell asleep when she was 12. Her body would still age. Technically.
Technically.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't imagine the bed sores though.
And I met a man with golden eyes. And we had a baby.
She met a man with golden eyes and they had a
It wasn't
baby.
until I woke up that I found out that none of this was real. I had a baby girl.
What? So you're telling me that's possible? Well, obviously it's not. No, sorry.
I'm sounding very rapey right now.
I'm mixing up reality with the dream world. Like the Sandman. Sometimes the Sandman just like encompasses my brains. So anyway, so she had a child.
Well, she was asleep. And in her dreams, she met this golden-eyed man. They had a child in her dreams.
Golden Eye Man.
But the man wasn't real when she woke up, but the child was.
Oh, okay. So
while she was asleep, somebody got her pregnant.
They hushed it up at the time, but Mr. Holdaway found out that she was adopted by a fine family. And that she grew up to have a daughter of her own.
Why did they give her
Called
away?
Miranda Walker.
That's her mother?
Your mother.
That's her
And your great-grandmother, Rose. I'm sorry to have brought you here under false pretenses, but I thought that if it were explained to you first, you might not have come. And I don't think I could have borne that.
I took back what I said earlier. That is
This is a sweet reunion.
Yes.
You catch up.
No, you don't have to.
No, please.
See.
The Corinthian.
Yeah.
So he's made a name for himself in this world?
Yeah.
No response.
But for what?
No. Thank you. How old do you think he is?
The Corinthian.
Oh, he's been around for forever.
No. The waiter.
16, 17. Too old for you.
He looks younger.
Though there's probably
He's too old for you. 16, 17. Who are these people? Bro.
I almost got a thought that what if these are the escapees from Dream's realm, but in human form? But I'll
no.
take that back.
But we already know the Corinthian, right?
Yeah, but they know the Corinthian, and then the bizarre topic that he came up with just a little while ago.
Do you think Dream would make someone so repulsive though? Like
He's supposed to be a nightmare. I don't know. I'm just saying. Let's just go.
His work is exquisite. This was last week in DC.
Oh.
You see?
He's on the East Coast. He's not far.
So it's murder?
What do you think he does?
Yeah, like actual real life murders.
Same as us.
Same as
I
us.
can invite him in again through the usual channel.
No, if we want to get his attention, we have to think like him.
Copycat the Corinthian?
Might be fun.
We do not plagiarize one another's
These are
work.
criminals, right?
We have a code.
We also have
seems
over
so.
100 serial killers coming to this thing.
Serial killers.
And they paid good money
And he's a
to see the
predator.
family.
No,
The other guy.
absolutely not.
What the heck?
And they want Corinthian
Have it your way.
to come to their little gathering or something.
It's like a show.
A show?
A show that people have to pay to enter. That's freaky.
Restaurant?
Well, the people that admire the Corinthian would have to have some level of freakiness.
I'm just trying to figure out.
has a type?
May I help you?
Don't open your door
you
to
are?
strangers, people.
Guess you could say I'm kind of a headhunter. So you don't propose a job.
Seriously?
Strange
You know
choice
what?
of words.
She's traveling at the moment. but I can give her a message.
I'd be
A week?
surprised if he doesn't kill
But
him.
you're welcome away.
Don't give out your friends information like that,
The
man.
Corinthians.
Not cool. Especially to strangers.
Somebody like him, the doormate or whatever, I couldn't deal with somebody like that. That's like the friend code broken
Yeah.
right there. You don't let strangers into your friend's apartment. Rule 1.
Isn't it strange though that they're just sitting talking about something they're passionate about and at first you think is, I don't know, embroidery or a good book club, and soon after you listen into it more it's
Gets
like,
more
oh, it's a
gruesome.
group of serial killers and this is normal for them.
The thing that gets me is the fact that you gotta pay to
Wow.
go to the show.
So there's like a group of them that come together for this special event and they want like a keynote speaker.
Yo, I don't know what's going on with this episode.
What if I employ you
To do what?
to locate my great-grandson? Look, I'll pay for everything. Travel, expenses.
Yes,
And a
ma'am.
salary, of course.
That's enough for me.
Don't worry.
Not the trouble
Well,
that
there's
she about
plenty
to
of
run
money.
into. The
Our
Corinthian.
family owns King
Probably.
They did? Oh my god.
Look, you'll be doing me a favour.
But
I
if it's
want
to
meet
save her
my
brother,
grandson.
won't you go through it?
Writer, will you go with me?
Do I love my brother?
Imagine you had a brother.
Yes. Cause say my brother, sure.
I think that's wildly irresponsible.
Those certainly left you plenty to read.
Trust me, I would kick that guy out of my life.
Big reader? I prefer people.
And he's going through stuff in the house that's not his.
You can't even guarantee this person actually knows Rose.
All he had to say was that he's a headhunter.
I just noticed something. Did you see episode 5 with John? John that had the Sandman's amulet. No, it's Ruby, sorry. So, alright. So she was a lesbian girl and her girlfriend left her at the time, right? And in the episode, if you saw it, they end up killing her. John, Ruby Madness, end up killing her in the diner. Now, if you look here, that's a picture of Rose, right? This is a picture of the girl from the diner.
Yeah, I remember her. What's she doing there?
Exactly.
Strange.
And I can't remember her girlfriend's name. Her ex-girlfriend's name.
Neither.
So that is weird. Because she
has
was
to be
in...
some connection though.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's wild.
Just ours.
You better beware of his eyes.
Something wrong.
Okay, so the Corinthian is like a well-known serial killer, basically.
Headhunting.
Well, it looks like it.
Jed Walker.
The
Someone else.
father died too.
Apparently.
Yes. The plans for the new Celestarium have been approved.
I'm not here to talk destruction. I'm here to talk about the Vortex.
Lord Morpheus is already monitoring her dreams.
He better be.
And sending Matthew to watch her in the waking world.
What? Who's Matthew?
Merv, it's me.
What do you call those things again?
He's sending the new kid?
Why not?
No, the thing you put in the field to
a scarecrow?
It's a scarecrow.
But if you'd like to leave your information for Jed's parents...
They're not his parents.
They are, while he's in their care.
But I'm his sister.
I understand that. You have to understand that, as such, you have no legal claim to him.
Could you just be a fucking human being for a second? Please?
Rosie.
No. We came all this way. My parents are dead, Miss Rubio. Jed's the
She was being a little
only
bit
family I have left.
too much.
He's it. I just want to see him. Or talk to him. Just let him know I'm here.
Rose, if I tell you where your brother is, then what?
I get in touch. I tell him about our mom. I ask him how he is. If he's okay.
What do you do when he says, I don't want to live with these people, I want to live with you? Is that
Shouldn't he be able to?
Are you prepared to raise a 12-year-old boy by yourself at your age? To have a job? Healthcare?
Those are very good questions. Ideally, yes, but those questions need to be answered first.
Jed's fosters were friends of your dad's.
They were?
Still, I would just want to see him at least, even if I couldn't speak to him.
Yeah, but like in her line of work, it pays to be a realist. And sometimes that means asking pertinent questions, even though it makes you look cold. She did ask good questions here. You know?
Yeah.
I can understand both points.
You've returned. How'd it go?
Not disagreeing, but still, she gotta maintain at least a human aspect to herself, because at the starting she was just being like very mean in a sense.
With jobs like that, I don't know if this is true across the board, but with tough jobs like with nurses, doctors who deal with this sort of traumatic experiences every day, after some years they kind of get desensitized to it.
Exactly, that's why people have feelings.
Don't you think it'd be interesting to go to one of these shows one day though?
It would be interesting, yes.
You'll be swell, you'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here.
It's pretty cool to go into a non-judgmental zone where people can just be free and do anything they want.
These guys creep me.
So I consider mine to be more of an homage.
You both said
And they're so happy about it.
In the absence of a better one, you still need a guest of honor. And it was a fascinating
You see how normal they are? That's the part that creeps me out. It's like they're talking about a good book.
Why?
And they just place it on the table. They go back to the same bar. The same, what? Bar or diner?
And they're really hard to get out without popping them.
The trick is the usual doubts.
I find it so difficult to believe that there are people in this world who literally do these kind of things, and they're human beings. And they do these things and they're fascinated by these things. It's like, to me, the only answer is it's a nightmare from dreams realm. But maybe there are people who actually do these horrendous acts. Like, I would understand a serial killer, but
definitely are. But the part that surprised me is that they're having like this gathering.
Yeah, that exactly.
And it's so normal to them.
Thank you. That's quite nice. A gathering of like-minded souls.
Do you think that actually happens though?
May happen.
Corinthians.
But it's very hard, difficult for me to just believe.
Yeah.
If I might bring a guest.
A fellow clone.
It's amazing how some writers can just put forward two different ideas and just bring them together like that, you know?
It's amazing.
Why does that sound so fake?
No, it's true. It's no, it's true. It's a really.
You're still getting over the serial killer thing?
Yeah.
Jed Walker is still in the realm of the living. I cannot find him.
No, there's a cult.
You think she severed him from the dream?
I do.
It's one of the nightmares, right?
Why?
Because he's not just any child, is he? He's Rose Walker's brother. She is the Vortex.
Excuse me. I'm Rose Walker. What do you know about my brother Jed?
Sis just appeared like.
Help me, please! Help! Hey, Grace. What are you doing here? I ran away. Hey, what happened? Uncle Barnaby said he's gonna lock me in the cellar. What did you do? Nothing. I swear he hates me.
Why? What did you do?
Seriously?
Why? What did you do? That's like the best answer she could have come up with. Why? What did you do? Even if you did something bad, you deserve to be locked in the cellar.
It's not true.
Something is
Stay
very
away from
wrong
him,
there.
both of us, right now. Where would we go? We could go anywhere. We have to go now.
She seems just as trapped for some reason.
Oh, look at car pulling up. Skirt, skirt. Hey, where you think you're going?
The hell is going on out here?
Uh-oh.
Jed's coming home with me. Where are you, Jed?
Sir.
So Jed is not okay.
Oh no, you don't get to ride up front. You can ride in the back.
Barnaby, no.
Oh, God.
You want to get in there with him? Then don't tell me no.
But why?
At some point, I could feel sorry for her too, but I mean, she chose that kind of life. So, I mean...
I don't think she necessarily chose it from the inception. I think
No,
she
but,
endures it. Just
Throughout
need to-
her time with meeting this person, right? There's a first incident that makes you worry and throws up a red flag. Then there's another one, and another one, and another one. Eventually, it's starting to be a choice to stick with the red flags.
Yeah, you have a point. But sometimes
a
people don't
controversial
always show themselves until you're like deep within the situation. That's
But
when
he
you start
did.
seeing.
He definitely did.
How you know it?
Because of her reaction when she saw Jed. And Jed told her, said he was going to lock me in the cellar. What did you do?
Yeah.
She knows what situation that she's in, bro.
Well, that's what I said. She's enjoying it. She chose to enjoy it. She shouldn't be enjoying it. Maybe like let's say
shouldn't be.
Let's say you meet someone and like for the first year you guys get along great. You're in love. The next year you decide to get married, right? After you get married, that person decides to show you some really awful things about themselves, right?
And you think that during that year of knowing someone, right? They're not gonna throw up any red flags, nothing at all, to the real monster that's inside.
Some people are really good at hiding those things.
And after you get married, when you see the monster, what happens then?
A lot of people.
You stick around to a point where the kid that's staying with you says that this man is gonna lock me up in the basement, and your first response is like, "Oh, what did you do?" Instead of, "Okay, let's get in the car, drive off. I'm gonna take you somewhere safe."
you know, it shows that she knows at this point what is
Yeah,
going
she
on,
knows.
and she chooses not to like get out of it. She's afraid, she's scared.
Yeah, she's afraid and she's scared, but
I don't know,
I don't
guys.
know
What do you
this.
think? What do you think in the comment section, right? I know, like, if you see something like that, the first thought process in my mind when I see a child running, screaming, coming at me and saying somebody's gonna lock them up in the cellar, I would be like, what happened? That's first of all, what happened? What is the whole situation here? You know, try to understand. And once that child explains, oh, he's abusive or whatever, take the child away and probably like make a report or something. You know, I wouldn't go and visit that guy, especially if I have knowledge that he's been
they
a little
seem
bit
like
crazy.
they're together though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind
Which
of
brings a whole new level of interaction and the meaning behind whatever is going on there.
I don't know. It's just
like
really
a sequence of her just choosing the wrong thing when she knows what's right.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
feels bad for the kid. She knows what the man is doing is wrong. Right?
But she don't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's my problem. And I know I'm not in that position. I've never been in that position to say, okay, this is what I would do. Everyone likes to say that, but there is right and there is wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And you do have choices. That's all I'm saying.
Do have choices, yet sis is choosing to be afraid. So yes. About, I think it ended on a note whereby we're just like, what? You know?
Yeah.
We're just like, what? Because these are very new characters to us. Rose is a very new character. A lot of these people, like the guy that we just, what's his name, Barnaby or something?
Barnaby, yeah.
Barnaby is new. We have the 3 serial killers, or yeah, the 3 serial killers. Those are new. So we're dropped off in an environment where we much don't know a lot about these people, and it's just for us to continue watching the episodes and get a better understanding of what is going on with them. Pretty interesting to see that Dream and was it Lucien?
Yeah.
They were shocked that the Rose was able to find them wherever they were. She entered the dream world on her accord. So
and Dream seemed surprised too, because he was saying that how he was watching her while she was dreaming, but then she suddenly appeared unbeknownst to him.
So that is pretty interesting. Would really like to find out how their discussion goes. Anything else you want to add for this episode?
No, I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen next, because this seems like it's gonna spill over into something pretty big. I mean, we have the missing kid, we have the sister searching for him, long lost grandma, and then somehow serial killer club mixed in with that too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's boggling my mind.
It's a lot, and that's what I like about the Sandman, because I watch a lot of reactions, right? Sorry. I do a lot of reactions to different TV shows, and each TV show I watch, it has something different to offer. But with the Sandman, I find myself thinking and having to, like, you know, like go so much so that normally, like everyday life, we don't have to think this hard. And when I watch the Sandman, I sit down and I'm like, wow, this is
like
something.
every scene has so much meaning, you know?
Yeah, it's not as simple as I would think it is, and sometimes you even miss things watching it once. So that is our reaction for the Sandman season 1 episode 7. I'm very happy that Obena has joined me today. Truly, when I watch the Sandman with Obena, I get some really good ideas from her, because she picks up on things way quicker than I do. She really does. Like, she has that, what do you want to call that? What do you?
I don't know.
I think you're like an intellectual, like a real intellectual. Like you
Okay,
pick up
I'll
on.
take it.
She picks up on a lot of things, and it's so much fun when she's here. Let us know some cool things about episode 7 in the comment section, like things we missed, or explain anything that we made any mistakes of. Yeah, and I think that's it. That's it for our reaction. Consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of great stuff here, and until next time.
Don't forget to comment and subscribe, guys. Bye.
Bye.
My sunburn, guys. Yeah. get some Sandman. This is the only case I can find for it.
Seriously?
Yeah. And even that's breaking apart.
Welcome back. Yes. You can do this. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. Today we have...
I am Obena and I'm back. It's been a while, but it's happy. Oh. Let's do it again. It's weird if I just say Obena.
What do you want to say?
I know something else.
Alright, cool. Say whatever you want to say. No, I thought I heard something. In episode 6. So basically Dream, I just started talking.
Dream doesn't really know what to do with himself anymore.
Yeah. Dream